Okay, we're going to program the TI-8X to do the quadratic formula. Press program, right arrow to new. We have 8 characters to name it. It's in alphabetical mode, so I'm going to go Q U A D F R M L for quadratic formula. Press enter. We're out of characters. I'm now ready for the first programming command. I'm going to ask it to stop and prompt and give me some information. So program, I want an input output command, choice 2, prompt, and I'm going to go alpha A, comma, alpha B, comma, alpha C, enter. Alright, I'm now going to calculate the value of the discriminant. If we don't have our calculator in imaginary mode, it would cause an error if we get a negative under the square root symbol. So I'm going to test for that first. So the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac times alpha a times alpha c, and I'm going to store that in a new variable alpha d for the discriminant. And now I'm going to display that, so it's program and input output. I'm going to choose display, and I'm going to let the person knowing what I'm displaying, so I need to go into alphabetical mode, and so I'm going to go second alpha to put the alpha caps lock on. I go down to above the plus sign is the quotes for text, and I'm going to put in D I S C R I M, and then close that quotes, and then I'm going to leave alphabetical mode by pressing alpha, comma, and then I'm going to go alpha D for the value of the variable D. Press enter. So I'm going to display the discriminant. If it's negative, the user should understand that we would get imaginary solutions, but I need to tell the program to jump over trying to calculate the square root of a negative here. So I'm going to do that with a control command, program if, and I'm going to test whether the discriminant's less than 0. So alpha D. To test it, above the word math on the math key here is test, so I go second test, choose choice 5, which is less than 0. Alright, and I could string these out in the same command line, but I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going back to program and choose choice 2 then. So the program command lines that follow then will be executed if it's true. And all that I want to do if it's true is to stop the program. So program control, and it's down pretty far in the list, and it's the word stop. And press enter for that. Press enter, and now if it's false, I want to do some other things, so I'm going back to program control. Choice 3 is else. Alright, else I want to continue with my work here, and it's going to be the positive path and the negative path to the calculate the zeros. I'm going to do the negative path first. Since there's multiple things in the numerator and denominator, I'm adding parentheses around the numerators and denominators in the quadratic formula. Opening a parentheses, negative b minus the square root of alpha d, close the square root, close the numerator, divided by, open a parentheses for the denominator, 2 times alpha a, close the denominator, and I'm going to store that in alpha e. And I want to do the positive path now. I start with the parentheses, negative b. This time it's going to be the positive path plus the square root of the discriminant, alpha d. Close the square root symbol, close the numerator, divided by, open the denominator, 2 times alpha A, and close the denominator, and I'm going to store that in alpha F. And now I'm going to take those and let the user see the values. So I'm going to go to Program, Input, Output, Display, and I'm going to put the caps lock on to give it some text. Second alpha for the caps lock. Go down for the double quotes and put in zeros as a word. End my quotes. Take the alpha lock off, comma, alpha E for my first zero, comma, alpha F for my second zero. I'm going to now second quit out of this and run it. If I run program and go down to choice 4, the quadratic formula, and now I press enter to activate it, I'm first going to do a 2, 3, 4 for the ABC. The discriminant's negative, and it does not give us zeros at that point. It just tells us that, and it's finished. If I press enter, the program runs again. Now I'm going to put in 2, 3, and negative 4, and it tells me the discriminant is 41, and the zeros are negative 2.35 and 0.85, and we can continue to run this over and over again. If we get stuck in the program line like this, we can always go second quit, and it says we're done, and go on to something else.